Hey guys, it's me, Ryan, and it is Monday, December the 4th, which means that yesterday was Sunday. And I'm super excited for your small groups this week because I think there is a lot of potential to talk through some potentially really difficult topics for people. Maybe to press in a little deeper, to challenge people. A lot of what I think keeps us from living really active Christian lives is this disconnect from our eschatology and our practical theology, which is just a fancy way of saying our view of Jesus' return impacts our the way that we live in the here and now. So I'm excited, and I hope you guys are too. It was a difficult passage, Matthew 25, 1 through 13, the passage where Jesus tells the parable of the 10 virgins who are all have a lamp and they're all waiting for the bridegroom. They all fall asleep, and yet some of them thought ahead to bring extra oil. The others didn't, and so they end up on the outside looking in at the end of the night. The 5 who brought extra oil are labeled by Jesus as wise, and the ones who forgot are labeled as foolish. So the big idea of the sermon, hopefully you remember me talking about the big idea last week. The big idea is, are you ready? The whole point of the parable is the preparedness of the followers of Jesus, the preparedness of people for his coming. And so I think the big question for you all to discuss this week is, what does it look like to live in preparation of the return of the bridegroom? Ask questions like, how is your life right now reflective of the belief that Jesus could return tomorrow? How would your life look different if you knew that he were coming back in a week? Or if you got a phone call today and Jesus was on the phone and he was showing up at your house in an hour for dinner, what would you do? What would the conversation with your spouse, or how would your next hour look if you were trying to prepare for him? Would you be trying to get your house in order? Would there be panic? Would there be fear, anxiety? What exactly would be running through your mind? All those are just a sampling. Remember, we're in Advent, and just to give you some trajectory over the next couple weeks so you can prepare, we are my kind of big topic for the next 3 weeks is parables that highlight the expectation we ought to have of the coming kingdom. They're all going to deal with some aspect of being prepared or being ready for the return of Christ. This week we will be looking at Luke chapter 12, verses 42 through 48. It's a parable about a wicked servant who beats other servants while the master is away. The topic is going to be looking at what it looks like to be ready for Jesus in the area of holiness as we pursue or as we await his coming. And then the following week, the theme of Advent that week is love. We'll be in Mark 13, 34 through 37, which again is a parable about a servant who falls asleep when his master is coming back. And so I'm going to make a lot of connections to Peter that week and his inability to stay awake. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. We're going to be hammering this theme for the next few weeks. I hope the discussions you have are profitable. Again, this is a time in the life of our church, just to warn you, where a lot of our regulars are very inconsistent, but we do often have a lot of new people checking out the church in the Advent season. So we'll probably have a couple of weeks here where people are pretty regular, and then as we get closer to Christmas, it'll start to drop. But this is a great time to try to reach out, especially in worship. You don't necessarily have to invite people to your group, but please, please, please try looking for new faces, even if they're much younger than you, even if they're very different looking from you. Please try to reach out, try to say hi to people, try to make a connection, and if nothing else, try to just say, welcome to All Souls, and be thinking about a way, if they're new, to connect them to me or Paul or someone else who you think they might have something in common with. Try to ask just one question that gets a little bit beyond the surface, because I think that's a great way to just help people feel welcomed. Thanks for all you guys do. Looking forward to the next couple weeks.